What's up, guys? Welcome to G Whiskey. My name is Jeff. This is a channel where I offer my thoughts and opinions on a specific whiskey, and once in a while I'll throw in other whiskey-related content. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm doing kind of like a reaction video. I'm going to be going through the latest from Diageo. I'll be looking at their 2022 special releases lineup. Stick around. So I'm doing something new today. This is a reaction video. I've never done one of these before, but after a quick scan of the internet recently, I found that there's a lot of chatter about this. A lot of people are disagreeing. There's some heated debates out there, so it's time to get controversial. She is our fish lady, and I will not sit here and... No, sorry, that's a different video I'm making. No, today is going to be a look at Diageo's 2022 special releases. There are a lot of people out there who are really pissed off about these. A lot of people are really excited. Some people are kind of conflicted. So what I'll be doing, I'll be taking a look at each of the individual releases, as well as giving my general thoughts on the whole issue. So yeah, not really much to carry on about. That's the premise of the video. It's a new thing I'm trying. I'm not sure if you guys are interested in seeing this kind of thing, like reaction videos and all that. But we'll give it a go, and you can let me know down below in the comments if you want to see more of this kind of thing. We've got 8 whiskeys in the lineup this year, and I'll be listing them from least to most interesting from my perspective. And I'll let you know which, if any, I'll be buying this year. We'll get to that later. But yeah, that's it. So let's just jump into our list of whiskeys. And in the meantime, if you could kindly leave a like down below, that'd be greatly appreciated. So sitting at number 8, the whiskey I'm least likely to buy this year is actually the most expensive from the lot. And that's not a coincidence. This one comes in at £250 and it's 57.8%. This one is a no age stated expression. It's been matured in refill oak, then virgin oak, then port, then Muscat wine casks. It's taken a lot of heat. It's taken a lot of criticism for the price and being a no age stated whiskey. At number 8, we've got Mortlach, the Moon Owl.
Yummy, yummy.
My number 7 comes in at £120. It's been matured in refill and American oak casks, and then it was finished for a year in seasoned wine casks. Our ABV is 54%. This one is Glen Ord 15. The Lady of the Deep. Next up, my number 6 comes in at £160. This one has been matured in recharred and refill American oak casks, and then finished in Jamaican rum casks. Our ABV here is 58%. This one is the Cardu 16. The Mystical Songbird.
Quack.
Next up, our number 5 comes in at an easy £275. This one is the only grain whiskey in the lineup this year. It's a single grain, and it's been entirely matured in refill American oak casks. The ABV on this one is 56.2%. We're looking at the Cameron Bridge 26-year-old. The Horseman of the River. Next up at number 4, we've got one that's always a big hit. This is probably the most consistently popular from the line. It's been matured in heavily peated American oak refill and virgin oak casks. It comes in at £135. It's 57.3% ABV. This one is the Lagavulin 12. The Blazing Phoenix. Next up at number 3, this is another hugely popular one. It always does really well. It flies off the shelves, at least at the beginning, and then mysteriously you still see more of it a year later. This one was matured in American oak, ex-bourbon, first fill, refill, and seasoned wine casks. Interestingly, this is made using their least peated stock. Coming in at £110 and 55.1% ABV, this one is the Talisker 11. The Glimmering Man of War. Sitting at number 2 is the follow-up to my favorite from last year's lineup. From the ones that I tried, this one was matured in refill and virgin oak, and then seasoned Amontillado casks. This one's £105. It comes in at 57.1% ABV. This one is the Oban 10. The Enchanted Forest Hopper. Sitting at number 1 is a whiskey that I wasn't really expecting to show up this year. Not that I'd really thought about it, but I think it is going to be a pretty big hit. We don't usually see too much from this brand. This one was matured in refill American oak casks and then finished for 2 years in both PX and Oloroso seasoned casks. It comes in at 175 pounds. It's 58.5% ABV. This one is the Clynelish 12. The Firecat. So, what are my thoughts on all these? Well, I don't think I'm going to have a hot take on this one. I don't think my opinion is going to surprise a lot of people. But for me, the big takeaway when I look at this little catalog is, number one, these are too pricey. Number two, colors are pretty. So will they be worth it? Well, certainly not all of them will be. Some of them might be. Is it going to be worth the risk? For some of you, yes, it is. But if you're going to ask me if I'm going to be buying any of these this year, no, I don't think I will. I think they're pushing it a little bit too far this year. And the thing is, I've said this in the past, I'm not the boycott type, but I am the this shit is too expensive for me type. So does that mean that I won't be reviewing any of these this year? I probably won't, but it is still possible. And that's because while I'm not going to be buying any of these bottles this year, I know that I do have a few friends that are kind of mulling some of these over. And if they happen to pick any of them up, I'll be happy to borrow their bottles and review them for you guys. Basically, I don't want to spend any money on these, but if somebody else does happen to buy these very expensive whiskeys and then lends me their bottle, I'm willing to bite the bullet. I'm willing to step up to the plate and review them for you guys. And I think that speaks volumes to the quality of my character. Anyway, another thing to consider here is that these are designed to be collectible, and that definitely annoys a lot of people. There are going to be plenty of people who pick these up just to enjoy them and drink them, but equally you're going to have a lot of people that are buying these as investments. And listen, I don't believe in getting up on a soapbox and telling other people how to spend their money. If you want to buy them, go for it. I hope you pop them and I hope you enjoy them. If you want to give them a pass this year, I totally understand that. I definitely think it's unfortunate that this kind of thing is made as much for the investors and the collectors as it is for the drinkers. At the end of the day, I don't need any of these bottles and I'd rather take my money elsewhere because I do think they're too expensive, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to whine and moan a little bit about them because I admit I am tempted. I do have to stay on budget, but man, some of these whiskeys look really cool. My number 3 pick, that one looks cool. It's a Talisker. The Talisker releases are huge every year. This year it's made using lesser peated stock, which I think would be really interesting. Not too sure about the wine casks though. And then there's the Oban one. Oban is one of my favorite distilleries, and I absolutely loved the release they put out last year. This one was matured in freshly charred casks. This year, they're putting it out with a finish in seasoned Amontillado casks. Not too sure about that, actually. And of course, we have that Clynelish. Clynelish is an interesting distillery. We don't get much variety from them. We don't get a lot of releases from them, so I think a cask strength release would be really interesting. Not too sure about the sherry casks, though. And of course, we have the Lagavulin, which was my number 4 pick, but it'll be number 1 for a lot of you, I'm sure, this year. I did like the whiskey they put out last year. I thought it was good stuff, although I did come down on them pretty hard for the price. I thought it was over the top. It's expensive again this year, but it could be really good. Not too sure about the virgin oak casks, though. So we definitely have a lot of much busier casks this year. They do seem to be going for something different. And listen, I don't hate heavy cask influence in whiskey as long as it's balanced, as long as it's well done, as long as it's well integrated with the spirit. So I'm not going to outright dismiss them, but yeah, there's just a lot of very, very casky things happening this year. Take from that what you will. Next up, we've got the least important thing to discuss, but it is always fun to talk about, the labels, the packaging. So creative, so artistic, so collectible. Tacky to some, stunning to others. I do think I prefer the graphics on our bottles last year. I think they looked a little bit better. My favorite year was probably 2020 when the design looked like this, but do I think the bottles look cool this year? Yeah. So at the end of the day, it is going to be a pass for me. I think these bottles are just too expensive. And listen, I am interested in trying some of these. Part of me does hope some of my friends maybe pick up a bottle or two, share it with me so I can try it. I am tempted, but listen, this channel is expensive to maintain. I buy a lot of whiskey and I am on a tight budget. I'm going to take that money elsewhere. So yeah, I guess that's it. That's the video. Of course, I do want to hear your thoughts. Will you be picking up any of these bottles? Which ones interest you the most if you are? Are you going to give them a pass this year? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Also, as I said earlier, this is a new format. Let me know if you want to see more of this kind of thing. And yeah, we'll do the usual like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.